Hi, I'm Alessandra. I am the president-elect.
Hi, I'm Azam. I'm next year's treasurer.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm next year's historian.
My name is Patrick. I am the next year's vice president.
I'm Bryce. I'm going to be next year's public events coordinator.
I'm Charlie. I am this year's current historian, and I'm gonna be the one grilling you guys. Well, I say grilling, but it's just gonna be a bunch of smooth-brained questions. I
Okay.
okay. I think the first question is pretty simple. How did you? Let's just go back to how did you hear about the Kendo Club and why'd you join?
Oh no.
Starting with Alessandra.
Uh, I already have a long version of that. So, long story short, I was walking with my friend to the badminton club because he wanted to join. And I saw Kendo Club from the corner of my eye. And I was like, sure, why not? And that's why I'm here.
Huh.
You're not gonna elaborate. That's it. You just saw the
That's
booth,
it.
and that's why you're here.
There's already an elaboration.
Well, that's true. All right, then let's get Bryce's
Okay.
story then.
So, I heard about Kendo Club from my roommate, Patrick, the same Patrick that is going to be next year's vice president.
Oh,
So, it was week 1, being a computer science major. I was a shut-in. I was playing games at home. I was not at the club involvement fair. And then Patrick came back after going there. He was like, "Hey, there's Kendo Club. In fact, there's a Kendo practice tonight. Do you want to come?" I was like, "Okay, I got nothing else to do. Let's go."
No
And then,
way.
yep, that's what happened. And I was like, we went, and I had a lot of fun. And then, I just stuck with it, and that's why we're here today.
yeah. Patrick,
That's just
what did
hiding
you,
backstories for us.
Patrick, what did you enjoy so much about the first practice that you immediately had to bring Bryce in?
No, so what originally happened was I was talking about clubs and organizations you're joining, and Matthew and Bryce had brought up before how they were thinking about kendo. This was like a older conversation, and what happened was I went that day and I told them, "Oh, hey, they're gonna have practice on these nights. If you guys want to go, just let me know and I'll drive you guys. Cause like I'm already planning to drive there. So like you guys, they brought it up before, and I'm like telling them the dates and like if they want to go, just let me know. So like I don't leave without you guys."
So what I'm getting is Rice claims that you brought him to the practice, but you claim that you only went to the practice because of Bryce.
I went because I was already interested, and because um my cousin had told me that UCI had a Kendo Club.
Oh, was your cousin in the club?
Yeah, he's an alumni right now. He was a previous president, and I mainly know about it because he came home one weekend, just super sweaty, and like he was
Yeah.
showing off the pictures of like UE High and like all that sweat on him. And he's just like, "Oh, it's so sweaty wearing it." And then like he was bringing up about how the club is like continuing the Kendo Club. So I was just like, "Oh shoot, maybe when I join, if I get into UCI, I was like a junior at the time, I'll go check out the club."
So you could also be a sweaty boy.
Ooh.
Aren't we all?
That is
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah.
So, half of us here are actually already officers this year. Um, Current officers, do you guys want to kind of say what role you're doing right now?
Yeah, this year I'm the secretary.
Patrick,
Uh, this this year I am the treasurer.
Rice?
This year, I'm the public events coordinator. Just like, just like next year, I'm gonna be the public events coordinator.
You're really moving up the ladder, aren't you? So,
Mm,
is there any experience or just general things that you saw from this year that you want to either take into next year or change next year?
I did not process that question at all, Waiba.
Here, let me reword it. So basically, is there anything that any experience or any like part of the board that you really like this year? And is there any part of the board that you want to change next year?
Okay.
Like,
I
let's
like.
say, oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh wait, no, that's Charlie.
yeah, I was
Oh.
just gonna elaborate, but if you have the answer, it's fine.
I like how we had open communication for the most part. Um, but I kind of want to start planning things earlier just so we don't have anything left last minute, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What do you mean by
Um,
like last minute? What in particular? Is there any like particular instance you're thinking of?
Not at the top of my head, but I just found it as a trend throughout the year.
Hmm.
I think something like I think that would also help, especially because I think one of the reasons why it feels so last minute for us is that sometimes a lot of things happen, and it's kind of like a last minute unknowing like that such an event will take place that will like throw the plans off a little bit. And I think something that I think we should have kept doing that we did in the beginning of the year this year was kind of like weekly meetings, kind of check up on everybody, see what they're working on, and like see how the progress is going.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even though we had a lot of open
Mm.
communication, there wasn't a lot of like checking up on like how everybody is doing in terms of like the duties
Yeah.
and like if they need any help or like somebody to like do this for them. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What about you, Rice?
From this year, I mean, I'd say the other two probably got like most of it covered already. Communication was great, and for the most part, in terms of, when we were planning stuff, that we were very clear on like what we had ideas on. But in terms of like planning stuff, in terms of timing, yeah, I have to admit, sometimes it was last minute, and we didn't really check up on each other in terms of our schedules, like in school, like what's going on, if it's like a busy week or just in general how our duties are going. But I'd say, in terms of things to bring into next year, I hope the communication stays strong. That we're all, all of us as the officers are very close together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Jason just doesn't randomly cause beef out of nowhere.
Whoa, whoa,
Me?
whoa,
Wait, what?
Hey,
whoa.
you're the one causing beef right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's allegations. So how about you, Azam and Jason, looking in? Because you guys it's gonna be your first time being officers next year. What are you looking
hmm
forward to?
I'm looking forward definitely to promote the club like to more people, I guess. Have more new members join us, maybe. Like just imagine if Kendo is like just like we have a lot of like non-bogus and then like as big as like UCSD. That would be kind of
Mm.
cool actually.
It
I
might
think
be
that
a
would be
little
great.
hard.
That
Can we
It
fit
is.
everyone into the rooms though?
I think if that were to happen, they might actually give us the backcourt like as a permanent training room,
Ayo.
and
That
then
would be
like
great.
Ayo.
if we hold events, we would actually get like the actual basketball courts like Noah wanted.
I don't know, man. Not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like they're not giving us the backroom course because they don't want us to like make a noise every week.
That is also fair.
That is true.
I guess, but like if we're bringing home trophies though, that'll make a difference.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
True.
Or just sheer
Okay.
numbers, like half the school is in the Kendo Club now.
Ah, that's a dream right
That'll be
there.
crazy.
That's the new goal for 2024 officers. Get half the school to be part of the club.
So we do like the full cult conversion instead of just like a tiny cult.
No,
All
no,
right.
no, don't say it like that.
Oh,
Don't say that.
Lord.
Oh, okay.
We make like a big family. A
Yeah.
A big family.
Big family.
Yeah.
What about you, Azam? Is there anything that you're looking forward to?
I mean, I guess being part of the Kendo Club for like, I guess this is gonna be my third year then. Kind of do want to start contributing a little bit more to the club, given that it has done so much for me by like literally giving me new experiences such as like eating out at certain restaurants. I mean, that's the main thing I can think of, and just having like a little group. But I'm gonna be honest. Everyone keeps saying the treasure is a hard role, and it's kind of scaring me. So like, yeah, I am looking forward to helping the club, but Patrick, I'm gonna rely on you like a hell of a lot. Please
Oh yeah,
help.
no, it's I'm definitely I'll help you throughout the like
Yay.
it's I'll say this, it's not hard, but it's hard in the sense like there's a lot of work that you need to make sure like you're like kind of staying on top of them, and it's
Okay.
like not just like just regular work, but it's just like you remember, oh, contact this person, and they're not counting back in time, like follow up and like
Okay.
and then like it just leads to long wait times and like the work just kind of pile up because you're waiting for like one response or so.
So would you recommend me making like a calendar and like adding like things like to-do list sort of calendar thing?
It's like sometimes like I was doing that, I would say, but then I end up just making regular to-do lists and just crossing them off and like planning out ahead, like making
Okay.
small notes. Oh, do this after this. Yeah,
Mm.
that's
All right.
typically what I've been doing because like I found like as much as I wanted to plan it out, like every step of like do this in this week, there's another thing in this week. Sometimes like for example, recently, I was trying to do ASUCI transition from the ARC to our ASUCI account, and like it just took a month to 2 months just for it to transfer.
Oh Christ.
I just sat there waiting, and like I was waiting a long time to like reimburse Hiroshi, reimburse Noah, and like I was just sitting there. I'm just like just waiting for a response. And like now, like for a couple other club stuff, like they are more speedy now, but there's other complications with that that like I'm still figuring out right now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Um, so Alessandra, since you're gonna be the president of the club next year, what are your plans for the club in terms of both social and competitive side?
Social, competitive. Social, I want to have more diverse socials, I guess would be the word. Because we usually for socials, not gonna lie, we just eat at In-N-Out.
What do you mean you don't like
So
going in out for like the 5th time this month?
Hey,
She's anti-Cali.
I personally love going to In-N-Out, but you know, some people are like, bruh, In-N-Out again? So I think it'd be nice to have socials that cater to people's interests, not just food wise, but like experience wise. I think more diversity would make it a lot more fun. And competitive side, I want to have a more planned out schedule, not just quarterly or weekly, but like throughout the whole year in general, so people are prepared for UE High and or other tournaments if we have any, but they're not overwhelmed by a sudden, oh my gosh, we just came back from winter break and then all of a sudden we're doing full on conditioning, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that was an issue for like this year's UE High. It's like, I mean, because I think we did like enough practice for the last thing. Like I felt more confident, I would say, for like last year's UE High than this year's.
Yeah.
I also think like the condition was helpful. I think as well. Like I think like this year, I think a lot of us were more well conditioned for like the matches as well. And then I actually didn't get a goal last year, but like I felt like a lot of members this year was like had a lot of like stamina and energy for a lot of UI High. I think the thing that kind of maybe was hard on us was like I think in that short amount of time to get into like to really get into that mindset for a competition because like we
Yeah.
wanted to win, but like I don't think we had. I think as much as like we really wanted to win and we were all in to like give our all. I felt like there was like a slight difference in like competitive outlook between us and like for example University of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can really see like the difference a little.
And I think it's just like, to me for this year, it kind of seemed like UE High was this distant tournament, and then all of a sudden a week passes, or yeah, and then oh my gosh, UE High is like right now, right here.
Yeah.
So we have to prepare for it.
Yeah. I think it also might just be like because last year I think it took a while for them to go from UI, I think as well. wasn't it? Like there was a possibility like last year there wasn't gonna be a
Oh,
UEHI.
February.
Yeah,
or
because of
something.
COVID and
Yeah.
all that.
Mm.
Yeah, and then like this year it was like us kind of waiting a little bit for like more confirmation on UEHI and like what else we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they didn't release like the
Like
who's gonna go
Tampa
against
was
who.
released the night ahead. So like the only people that really knew who they're going up against and like how they can prepare a little bit the night before is like UCLA.
Yeah.
It's their big brain plan.
But
Damn.
like last year, I think Dan was saying like they released it like days ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were still a long time ahead of time. This time they were like last second.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a great like they hold like great like speech about it, and then like how they handled it was nice in person, but it's just like just waiting for information. It just means a little slower, for sure.
Yeah. we probably should have done this earlier in case someone who doesn't know what UEHI is listening. But
Oh yeah.
Bryce, you want to explain what UEHI is?
Oh my gosh, Bryce, non-poker
Uh,
champion.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Nobuga champion last year.
No. Let's not mention that one.
No, let's go on that. What is this Nambogu champion?
Yeah. Okay, how about explain UEHI, explain the division, and like why it is that you are the non-Boku champion.
Okay, so Yuhi High is a yearly intercollegiate kendo tournament that is hosted by UCLA at UCLA, and at the tournament there's multiple divisions. Um, there's non-Bogu division, Q division, Dan division, and women's division. And on top of those, there's also team division tournaments as well. This, which is, I think, if I remember, is Q and co-ed. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Non-bogu is for anyone who's practicing kendo, but they're not at the stage yet where they're wearing bogu. And Q is for anyone who is Q rank, and Dan is for anyone who is of Dan rank, and women's is for women's. And co-ed is, co-ed, just anyone in general, regardless of their rank, as long as they are in Bogu. And what everyone else is mentioning about non-Bogu champion is that last year during UE High, I managed to get first place in the non-Bogu division. How? I don't know. But
No, you're being too humble. He
happened.
didn't manage to get first place. He destroyed everyone. Hell yeah.
No,
He did, yeah.
no,
Yeah, he did
no,
great.
no.
Like, supposedly, he messed up and won in one of his
And he
sets.
still won.
But
He still won.
his kendo was so clean and like he just had a very strong spirit. They gave him the point.
Yeah.
They just had to get the point. You're just that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate the words.
But last year, were there like less non-bogus participating,
I'd say about the
No, there's
same
less
amount of
this year.
non-Bogu.
No,
Yeah.
there is less this year.
That was less from us, cause our entire club was out with COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last year the Yuhi High, like the week before, almost everyone in UCI's Kendo Club got sick. It was only like me and Azam for the
Yeah, that was it for non-Bogu.
And then in terms of Bogu, we only had like 5 people. It's nuts.
Bro, people are gonna listen to this podcast and think your name's actually Azam.
Okay.
Is it not?
And this, it's Asm. It's like Adam, but with a Z.
Asm.
I don't care at this point. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Why do you guys like say it like that?
No, because like I don't think I corrected that much. Because I have a best friend who's been calling me Azam for so many years. I'm like, wait, just ask him. Like after a few years, he's like, wait, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, I didn't really care that much. Like he got like legitimately pissed. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I think he just felt
Are
like
you apologizing?
Anyways, Adam,
No!
was Jason? Jason,
Oh my.
correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't you went to UE High this year, right?
Yes.
How was it? How was your first ever UE High?
My first ever UE High.
Mhm.
It was stressful, but like kind of was like I'm kind of new to everything, so it's like I just try my best not like my biggest fear is not like losing. My biggest fear is like messing up and then just embarrassing myself. Like it's like, oh, you're supposed to know that. Like how do you not know that? Like I guess I'm too anxious and basically, but like I guess that didn't happen to me, so I'm happy. I'm just it's in general it's a very fun experience, I guess.
Yeah, that's good to hear that it was fun for you.
I think
Uh,
you didn't mess up as bad as I did last year.
Come on,
Uh,
Islam, you didn't do that bad. I think you placed
no,
pretty
no, no,
high last year
not for the
too.
tournament part. I'm talking about like some other stuff. I remember I was lazy. I took off my whatchamacallit, Hakama and Gi, and then I had to like rush to put it back on because we are doing the ending ceremony. I like ran. I tripped over like the rope that divides the spectators from like the actual tournament area. And then I just ran into line and people were pissed that like I didn't go back to like fix it. Yeah, it was not
Ooh.
it.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that this year, so I'm happy about that. I both did better, I think, via matches and in that aspect.
You were a clumsy boy.
I was a very clumsy boy, yes.
That's okay, Adam. You learned from your
No!
mistakes.
No!
So, we're pretty much out of questions. We're gonna do a lightning round now. I'm just gonna ask you guys a bunch of whatever I feel like. There's no really set questions for this. It's just basically off the top of my head.
Right.
Okay.
And to give me a little bit of time to come up with questions, we're gonna ask Adam, tell us one interesting thing about yourself and why you really wanted to be asked this.
Wait, what? Oh, that I didn't really want to be asked that. It was just because like it's one of those like generic things like when you like have a group thing, it's just like, oh, what's one interesting thing about myself? And then you just say it and then like I just say some like random stuff. One of my go-tos is just the fact that I almost died by like a monkey when I was a little baby boy.
What?
You wanna
Oh yeah,
elaborate?
you weren't there for that, Jason.
You wanna elaborate that?
Please
So
elaborate.
okay, fine then. So essentially, what happened was I was in India because I'm Indian. I was born in India and stuff. I was in like a little crib on like the second floor of our house there. Apparently, a monkey somehow climbed and was on top of my crib, and so my mom went up, and then was like, "Oh God, there's a monkey standing over my child. What do I do?" She yelled to my dad. My dad grabbed a stick and like went up and tried to like spook the monkey, but not like spook it to such a way like thing where it, like just stepped on me and killed me. So yeah, he was just like waving a stick trying to like scare it off. So yeah, I almost died by a monkey.
Mm.
Hmm.
Quaint.
That's interesting.
Alright,
Right.
Ice's turn. What's your first ever impression of Hiroshi?
My first ever impression of Hiroshi. I came into Kendo Club. I saw that handsome man
Oh my
standing there,
God.
and I was like, "Oh my God, who is this man? He is like the epitome of Kendo." That was my first impression of him. He was just so his whole stature and everything. It was just awe-inspiring.
Okay, now Amos. What's your first impression of Amos?
I saw Amos, and my first impression of him, he was very he seemed very well mannered. He seemed like someone who could take care of himself well. He seems like a very good person.
Alright, Jason. Who in the club? Whose kendo do you like the most?
Whose kendo do I like the most? Well, it's different for everyone. Spirit wise, Bryce. Um, Ki definitely Matthew. I just really like his Ki. It's like
Oh.
intimidating. And but like for non-Bogu, my favorite Ki is definitely Jake. It's like, oh my God, like I was going against him and
It's
he
so raw.
he did
Yeah.
his Ki on me. I was like, okay, chill. Like this like chill. And speed wise, definitely I feel like Noah is like really fast. Like when I was watching him in UCI, like he's like really fast for me, even for me. And I was like, damn, like you're so fast. And honestly, like um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay,
Hmm.
then Alessandra.
Mm.
Who's your favorite sensei in the club all time? Even if they just came like once. She's thinking.
Loading.
Oh,
You don't have a favorite sensei at all? No sensei that like just spoke to you?
I like all of them. I don't know. I don't really have favorites other than Noah.
That's a lie.
I wonder
She's
why.
lying for the camera. Alright, Patrick, you answer the question for her.
Favorite sensei?
Yeah.
I think it's something what Alessandra is saying. It's like it's really hard because this is something like I talked to Hiroshi before about tips and stuff. In Kendo, and like every sensei is not gonna always give you the same tip. They're always gonna like they might agree with something, but then they're gonna have like their own input on about the idea, and it's sometimes like for me hard to figure out like which sensei I'd prefer in the sense of like going to talk to with about such things or like even just like asking about like regular stuff as well.
Yeah.
I can't say I really have a favorite sensei in that sense. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll ask Bryce then. Bryce, who's your favorite sensei? Might I remind you, Hiroshi is now a sensei.
Oh, if you want, if you want like the funny short answer, oh my God, it's Hiroshi. Of course, he's so handsome. He's so good at kendo. He's so nice to me. I'm so sad that I wasn't in the same time in the club as he was, like as an active student. Uh, but in terms of like an actual answer, I think it's like kind of hard because it's like what Patrick was saying. It's like every sensei has like different styles of kendo, and for certain pieces of advice you might agree with one sensei, or for something else you might agree with another sensei. I think all the sensei that have come to UCI are very great, very good people and sensei, and I like all of them. All of them have given me different pieces of advice, whether it's like men or my door or my footwork, just different things. I can't really pinpoint an exact favorite. I think just they're all great. I don't know how to end that sentence.
And isn't that a great thing?
Isn't that a great thing?
Yeah. Alright, to end things off, Alessandra, give us your best 30-second pitch to a random student as to why they should join our club. Go.
Marketing.
Okay. If you don't like someone, imagine that person. Are you imagining them? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now pretend you have a stick. Kendo Club, you don't have to pretend, but right now pretend you have a stick and whack them as hard as you can in the head. That's what you can do at Kendo Club.
I'm sold. I'm already in. I'm locked in for life.
Wait, that team's not formed though.
What a pitch.
Fun fact. That was Charlie's selling pitch when I first went to the booth.
Bruh,
Was
no,
it
you're right,
actually?
you're right.
Wow.
I remember during the involvement fair, I came up to you. You were the first person I've ever talked to in Kendo Club, and I was like, "Do you need experience to join?" And you were like, "No." Just talk about whacking people. I'm like, bruh.
I literally don't remember what my conversation was with Pat with Charlie. I think it was actually wasn't even a conversation. Just like I want Kendo Club and just walked away because I was so sweaty from like staying in that line for 2 hours. It was not it.
Oh, the line was long?
No, like not the Kendo Club line because I forgot to do something with my ID, so I had to stand like not even 2 hours, actually like 4 hours or some shit. Like it was really hot,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the ID line,
That line's
and
always so long.
yeah. So then after I was done with that, I had to go to like another event for like a summer program thing I did, grab that stuff, and I had to like hobble my way to the Kendo Club thing all sweaty. I'm like, time, join, and then they just gave me my stuff and I just walked away. That's kind of it. Not really the best first impression, but yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah.
You're stuck with us now, Asm.
I am stuck with you, yes.
Yeah, you guys stuck with
Yes,
Wait for life.
Yeah.
for
us
life.
for life.
Ah.
Alright. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I only asked Alessandra. So, Jason, you've been in the club for a year now. Give us your best 30-second pitch.
It's actually very similar, but like imagine you just bombed your midterm. You have two essay due at the end of the week. you have a project, but none of your teammates have started their own shit. So you just need to yell, like you need to yell out to release all your negative emotions, but you can't really yell because you live in the ACC and you're probably getting reported if you yell out. You can always come to Kendo practice. Here, the louder you yell during for Ki, the better you get. So yeah, that's one reason why you should join Kendo.
Okay.
I like how we're all just.
I like
I
how all of
we're
them are
all just
violent.
going out of spite.
Just let out your
No, but
stress.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Jason's is really solid because like that's one of the things Hiroshi pitched to us. Like Kendo is a when you're doing Kendo, you can forget about everything else because you only focus on that one thing you're at right now. You don't have to think about anything else.
And with that, we've been going on for way longer than I thought this would go on.
Wait, how long?
About
30
40-ish minutes.
Oh,
So, how about Azam, you close us out?
wait. How do I close out?
Good enough.
Okay, wait.
Thanks for
Wait, what?
listening. Bye bye.
Wait, what?